All right. We are going to start with the warm-up. So I'm going to need to look at how many squares are here. If I count this entire thing up, I see that there are 42 squares. So hopefully you saw that as well. So then I'm just going to start with expression A. Expression A says 48, 6 times 8 minus 6, 2 times 3, and that gives me 42. So automatically, I know there's some type of correlation between expression A and these boxes. But it's asking me, like, how does it represent it? So I'm looking and I'm like, okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows. 6 rows. These 4 rows all have 8 in them. All of them have 8 boxes in each row. But then the top here, the top 2 rows, they only have 5. So this is like 2 by 5. Where down here, this is 4 by 8. So this is actually removing 6 squares. Because if it didn't remove those squares, if I created my own and this wasn't a weird looking box, that would give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more, which would then in turn bring me up to 48, not 42. So that's what's happening in expression A. So let's look at expression B. So this gives me 32 plus 10, which is equal to 42. Cool. So again, so far we have that 42. So it is literally counting it as those 2 separate chunks. Whereas with the first expression, it was acting like it was a whole. So it was behaving as if it was a whole box. It was behaving as if it was a whole box. And then they just removed the 6 pieces that they didn't want. Whereas this one is counting it just as it sees it. 4 by 8 and 2 by 5. And then they just added those up. So expression C is 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 5 plus 5. That's just another way to represent 4 times 8 plus 2 times 5. So what they did there is they literally just counted the rows. So there's 8 in this row, 8 in this row, 8 in this row, 8 in this row, 5 in this row, 5 in this row, and that gives you 42. So that's what they did for expression C. For expression D, we see we have 5 times 6, which gives us 30, plus 3 times 4, which gives us 12, so now that we have that, what we're going to look at is that there are 5 columns that have 6 squares. So now I'm looking down. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each of these have 6 in them. And then over here, each of these have 4 in them. So that's where they're getting 5 times 6 and 3 times 4. And that's the warm-up.